At the end of the 15th century, a group of Protestant believers who were persecuted for their faith in Europe fled to South Africa in search of a new life. They came from the Netherlands, Germany, and France. This group later became known as the Afrikaners, white settlers who established their own communities in Africa. Centuries later, as British control began to strengthen in the region, the native people's lands were seized. And in 1948, the Apartheid system was born, a law that divided people based on skin color. But long before any of this, in a quiet field in England, a baby boy was born. His name was Peter Keith, better known as PK. His life began with tragedy. His father was killed in a brutal incident involving an elephant before he ever got to hold his son. Devastated, his mother named the boy after her late husband, determined to keep his memory alive. PK was raised by his loving mother and cared for by a loyal nanny who taught him many life lessons. He grew up surrounded by love and wisdom. Tondare, the nanny's son, became his closest childhood friend.
Madam, come quickly, come. You spared the kettle.
However, PK's happy childhood did not last long. A disease swept through their family farm, killing all the livestock. His mother became ill from stress and despair. Unable to care for her child any longer, she sent PK to a boarding school in Africa, the only place they could afford. Unfortunately, the school was run by the Afrikaners.
Love you, good boy, darling.
From the first day, PK knew he wasn't welcome there. He was the only English child among descendants of colonizers who despised his heritage. Every day, he endured insults, hateful stares, and bullying. Things worsened when a senior named Japota spat in front of him, marking the start of a long period of suffering.
For thine is the kingdom, the power.
A few nights later, Bota and his gang cornered PK in the bathroom and humiliated him brutally. None of the other students helped. They only watched in silence. The trauma caused PK to wet the bed every night.
We'll give you some more tomorrow, won't we?
Just after the bullying in the shower, I began to wet my bed.
Not long after, sad news came. His mother had passed away. He returned home for the funeral and reunited with his nanny and Tondare. Guilt consumed him, as he felt he had abandoned his mother during her illness. But time could not be turned back. His only remaining family was his grandfather, who lived far away in Congo.
I should have stayed to help take care of Mother.
After the funeral, PK returned to school. Before his departure, his nanny called upon a tribal shaman named Dabulamanzi to help PK face his fears. In a ritual, PK was confronted with the image of an elephant, the symbol of his fear. When the elephant charged, PK did not back down as his father had. He stood firm, showing courage. The elephant stopped and touched him. Signifying that PK had conquered his fear. Returning to the dormitory, PK brought a gift from the shaman, a chicken that would become his protector. Miraculously, the chicken would sense and ward him of threats. This small thing gave PK a sense of control over his harsh life. As time went on, World War II made things even more tense. The Afrikaner students idolized Hitler and hated English descendants like PK.
Hitler vowed to crush Great Britain and drive the English from South Africa. The Afrikaners waited for that day with excitement. It caused me more problems than bedwetting ever had. I said the Bullies' words over and over to myself, trying not to be afraid.
One day, Brighton, a notoriously cruel student, killed PK's protective chicken. But PK had changed. He fought back and knocked one of them down. Enraged, Brighton ordered PK to be hanged. Fortunately, a teacher arrived in time to stop the horrific act. Brighton was expelled from school. After that incident, PK was sent to live with his grandfather, who was unfit to raise a child. So PK was entrusted to Doc, a German man living in the English settlement of Barbatin. Doc became a key figure in PK's life, not just as a piano teacher, but a life mentor. He shared the tragic story of his family being slaughtered by the Nazis and taught PK that nature was the best teacher.
Doc showed me how to look at things differently than I ever had before. Doc said there were so many things to learn that we couldn't waste even 1 second.
However, this peace didn't last. Doc was arrested for being German and imprisoned. Thankfully, the warden gave him special privileges so PK could continue visiting him.
I will introduce you. Would it be too much trouble for my friend PK to learn some boxing?
In prison, PK met Gil Pete, a strong and wise inmate who began training him in boxing. Pete taught him a vital philosophy: use your brain before your heart in every fight.
You want to be a boxer?
What? Good try. 1, 2. Yes. 1, 2. 1, 2. 1, 2. 1, 2.
Oh, very strong. Thank you.
One day, PK saw Pete being brutally beaten by Sergeant Borman after being caught asking Doc for tobacco. PK vowed to get the tobacco for him.
Enough, Sergeant. That's enough, Sergeant.
Sorry.
Ja. Goed. Ja.
5 years passed before I knew it.
Over time, PK grew into a skilled boxer and won the prison championship. He earned respect from black prisoners and became known as someone just and kind.
My weight class.
Very good, Lisbeth.
But Borman continued torturing Pete.
You are a bunch of shit eaters, aren't you, Cover?
Yes, boss.
Bloody right.
Now get eating.
You were right. But it still broke my heart to see a man I loved so degraded. They sang to honor Hilly Pete's dignity.
After a satirical concert in Afrikaans, Pete was captured and beaten to near death.
This concert was your idea. Are they singing?
Coward.
Before passing away, he gave PK a final message: use your head first, then your heart. Years later, a grown PK attended school in Johannesburg. He shared his life story with the principal. When asked what happened to Borman, PK replied that justice had been served. A month after Pete's death, Borman was found dead in his cell. PK kept boxing, and during one match, he was cheered on by a girl named Maria.
Listen to the crowd, man. Listen to the crowd. Get out of here.
9!
What the hell happened? You were killing him. The girl found out who she is. The winner is the Wales Storm, PK! For any more? Come on. That's it.
Curious, he sought to find her, and with the help of his friend Maury, he did. Maria turned out to be the daughter of Daniel, a major figure in the Afrikaner Party. Despite the challenges, PK continued pursuing her and even promised to ask for her father's permission to marry her. PK later joined a multiracial gym and was trained by a coach named Hoppy. However, Maria's father completely rejected their relationship. Still, Maria bravely visited PK at the gym.
Hello.
Soon after, Elias, a former inmate, introduced PK to Duma, a black boxer determined to prove his people's strength. PK accepted the challenge and fought in the poor township of Alexandra. Though he nearly lost, PK remembered lessons from his past and turned the fight around.
That's it! Dead! He's out! He's out!
The Rainmaker! Yang Zulu!
After winning, Dumas showed respect and called PK a lifetime fighter. PK was then invited back to Alexandra and witnessed the harsh realities of inequality. Only 2% of black people had access to education. Dumas asked PK to help build a school, but PK initially declined out of fear. However, Dumas' words made him rethink. He eventually asked the headmaster to allow black students to attend classes secretly. In exchange, he declined Maria's dance invitation. Disappointed, Maria drifted apart.
Maria, this is important.
Listen to me. No!
That night, Maria attended a tense family dinner. When her family raised glasses in celebration of apartheid, she remained silent, unable to toast to hatred. She finally spoke up, revealing her visit to Alexandra and passionately declaring that black South Africans deserved a better life. Her words shocked the room and enraged her father, who slapped her across the face. Meanwhile, PK and Maury welcomed Dumas and his friend from Alexandra into the English school, a brave, challenging act that brought new hope. During a lesson, Maria suddenly appeared and offered to help teach. Although their relationship was strained, PK appreciated her gesture. The next day, PK was summoned to the principal's office and received a crushing blow. The school had been ordered by Colonel Botha and his assistant, Brighton, to stop all teaching activities for black students. Botha and Brighton were the same figures who had tormented PK as a child and now served as spies for Daniel, Maria's father, aiming to intimidate PK and Maury. The day after, the principal delivered surprising news. PK and Maury had been awarded scholarships to Oxford. It was a dream come true, a way out of the oppression in South Africa. But the dream was overshadowed by a coming storm. Brighton barged into PK's gym in a fit of rage, blaming him for his expulsion from boarding school. His long-held hatred erupted.
I was bitten by my father for the shame of being expelled. I was not allowed to go back to school. My life was set. I was made to live in the barn.
You tried to kill me, did you?
No!
This is all...
With armed men, Brighton beat several boxers and declared their intent to shut down the multiracial gym, using violence to assert dominance and terror. Shaken by the threat, PK secretly visited Maria and tried to convince her to join him in going to England. The scholarship was their chance to escape and find freedom. Meanwhile, Hoppy, the gym owner, took a bold stand. He painted a massive mural on the gym wall showing a white and black man standing together, a direct challenge to the oppressive system. But soon, Brighton and his forces arrived, drove everyone out, and burned the gym to the ground. Hoppy was arrested and dragged away, powerless to stop the flames.
Be a man, Sonny! Don't let them break you! You bloody kaffir body! You follow your heart! You do what you think is right!
Before being taken, he called out to PK with determination, giving him one last request: never stop fighting. His message was not just about boxing, but life, justice, and resistance. Inspired by Hoppy's spirit, PK, along with Maury and Maria, continued teaching black children in a church. The struggle was far from over, and PK knew he couldn't simply walk away. Everything seemed to be going well, until Colonel Botha and his troops stormed the church. The atmosphere turned tense, and a confrontation was unavoidable.
Don't you Marais' daughter! Leave us alone!
Sergeant, take the girl.
No!
Please! PK! No!
In the chaos, a punch intended for PK struck Maria instead, killing her instantly and leaving PK in deep sorrow. At her funeral, as PK stood by her grave, Maria's father Daniel arrived in fury and grief, swinging a shovel to attack him. But just before the blow landed, singing filled the air. A group of black residents from Alexandria, those PK had once taught, arrived to pay their respects to Maria. Their unity and honor stopped Daniel in his tracks. For PK, the tragedy was too much. The revolution he had fought for now felt meaningless. Losing Maria shattered his spirit, and he no longer had the will to continue. But then, while visiting Duma to say goodbye before leaving for Oxford, something changed. Seeing the children in Alexandria speaking the language he had taught them, PK realized his fight wasn't over. That all people are created equal and are born with inherent rights. The struggle for change, education, and freedom still burned within him. He couldn't just walk away. The resistance had to go on.
Come! They're coming for you! Stay where you are! You are under arrest! Violating your attention to regulations act! Put on!
One afternoon, the town suddenly turned into a battlefield. Military forces invaded the streets and opened fire on black citizens in their hunt for PK. He tried to escape, dodging bullets and weaving through the crowd.
This way! Go! Go! Where's the white boy? Tell me!
In the chaos, Duma was shot in the leg by Brighton, but refused to surrender. Black citizens, united in their cause, surrounded PK and fought back with unwavering determination. As the battle reached its peak, the wounded Duma made his way to Colonel Botha and, with all his strength, stabbed him with a spear, delivering a moment of victory.
Look, I must get the children away! Find him before they do!
Meanwhile, Brighton prepared to execute Elias. At the height of the tension, PK finally faced Brighton, the man who had tormented him for years. With incredible strength and resolve, PK took Brighton down with his bare hands. But Brighton wasn't finished. In a last attempt, he grabbed a fallen soldier's gun and aimed at PK. Just as he was about to shoot, Duma appeared with a cricket bat. In a single powerful swing, he struck Brighton down, ending his life instantly. As the violence in Alexandria subsided, PK and Duma, though wounded and exhausted, escaped the bloodshed. They made a vow to one another. No matter what, they would continue to fight against apartheid and commit to ending racial injustice forever.